Welcome to T-Boys TV
Very sports.
and
From me on tour.
come on, there we go, we've done it. But yeah, no, big up to everyone. Hope everyone had a decent international break. You know, watching a new style of England and stuff like that. Obviously, back-to-back wins in that. Couldn't complain there. But yeah, man, it's one of them. We're back. You know what I mean? The championship's back. It's been quite an interesting start. Not a great start for me and you, Lewis, for our teams. You know, we're still winless as it stands, but you know, there's results to look at from other teams, and you know, it's quite interesting. You know, it's getting very interesting there. But how are both of you? First of all, starting off with Harry.
Not too shabby, mate.
Yeah,
That's about it.
That's all right. That's all right then. Lewis, you all good, mate?
Yeah, pretty bad.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Yeah, we'll have someone on, as you can see in the thumbnail. Obviously, if you have been on my channel, you'd have seen him quite a bit, you know, in the past, but he'll be on very shortly. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, obviously, game week 5 preview. A lot of interesting games. Some tough games to call, I would say. You know, especially with how a lot of teams have started. There's quite a lot of games that you think could flick either way, looking at the games. But we'll start it off with the game tomorrow, which is obviously your team, Lewis, at home under the lights against Sheffield United, who have got a bit of form going. You know, obviously won their last game against Watford, which will give them a lot of confidence because as much as I don't like Watford, obviously, they were on a good, you know, good run of form. So it's a good win at home. You know, it's a good statement. You know, they have got a good squad. You know, they have got a squad that is definitely capable of fighting for automatics, you know, for sure. You know, they're against Hull, who, like we say, obviously still winless, got a lot of draws. You know, at least you're not losing a lot of them predominantly. But yeah, man, I mean, how are you feeling, Lewis, going into this game?
The thing is, we've not. I don't know, because starting the season we struggled to score, but we've not been out of games. So it's one of them where, like, it'd be typical Hull to go out and win this. It really would be. But I don't think we do. But I feel like it'd be another game where we won't be out of it until probably they score late on, because that's what tends to happen. I think it'll be an okay watch. I don't think it'll be too bad, but we just can't score, and I just don't believe we've still bought players, you know, who obviously will be available to play tomorrow, who can potentially change that too much. I mean, maybe they can. Obviously, we haven't yet to see them, but I don't know. It'll be an interesting one. Obviously, that Bellumi for the first time and Kamara the first time, possibly Alzate, but don't think we will see Alzate tomorrow.
Yeah,
but we'll see. But yeah, I don't think we win. I think it's hard to see a result, but Sheffield United are one of them teams where they can be okay, and then next minute then it's not great. I don't know. It's a tough one to score, to call.
yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, sometimes you see these Friday night games. They're quite, you know, interesting. You know, obviously, especially, well, not really for me, but the one last week, oh, sorry, the week before was, you know, it looked like Luton were on course to win. You know, pretty much. Let's be honest, they were quite dominant. You know, especially in that first half, but flicked a switch like that, and you know, just poor goals conceded, and QPR ended up winning it. So, you know, you can't see them games like that. So it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. I mean, like I say, I think Sheffield United will have confidence, you know, beating an informed Watford side. You know, clean sheet as well, to be fair. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure. But yeah, Harry, mate, how do you see this one planning out? Not necessarily score prediction yet, but yeah.
It's safe to say Lewis sounds like he's absolutely buzzing about this game. But nah, on a serious, it is an interesting one because like Sheffield United, like Lewis said, have had a couple of iffy results at times, but they got a good result against Watford in that big game before the international break. So they'll be full of confidence again. And then Hull, I don't know. It's just one of them games, like it's Friday night kickoff. I think it could go one of like three ways. I think it could be a quite tight game. Sheffield United will be a walk in the park, or someone will just like nick it. But you'd think that Sheffield United would have enough quality in the team to come through, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. When you're looking at squads, and like I say, they have got a very good squad. Like I've said, the only thing for me is potentially the manager holding them back. I look at certain things like just certain decisions he makes, where he puts players in that, and obviously, I've got Jamie as a regular on the channel, Sheffield United fan, and even he wasn't confident going into the season, despite them signings. They'd finish higher than a lot of people would say, i.e., top two. But they can still definitely do it. That's for sure. But like you lot can see in the thumbnail, we do have a guest on. And obviously he's been a regular on my channel a lot. So let's bring him in now. And that was obviously Hanno. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hope you guys are good. And everybody in the chat. And man, championship talk, always interesting. Especially with your two clubs this season.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. But nah, good to have you on, mate. Good to have you on. But yeah, how are you? What are you thinking about this game? On the Friday night, Hull City versus Sheffield United.
Well, my predictions are out Sheffield United at the bottom, like bottom half-ish. And I think that was when I put them there. I looked at their signings afterwards, and it's like, yeah, I think I messed up there, but they were putting them that low down because the signings are actual quality. And I think that will carry them the season. The big question is if those new signings do get injured, how do they manage that? And if you have got a quality manager, which they don't really have, the quality managers usually know how to manage the squad. That's a big thing for Sheffield United. Hull City, this season was basically almost over after they sacked their manager from last season. Because last season's manager carried them. Was good with them. Then they sacked him, which was strange. But they haven't. Well, they lost one game, so like Lewis mentioned, they're just struggling on the goals because they have actually kept a few clean. I haven't conceded many. They haven't kept a clean sheet, but they haven't been conceding many goals. If you look at the games, 0-0, 1-1, 1-1, and then 2-0 loss to Leeds, but Leeds are Leeds. You expect them to be up there. Last season they bottled in the final, and so yeah. So yeah, also this problem is going forward, but if your defense is good and you can if I'll just fix the attack somehow, they can definitely be a problem this season. But as for this game, I don't have the best record against Sheffield United. Looking at it,
True,
they've won one game in the last 8, drawing one. So it's not been the best of times for all. Oh, I'm gonna go for Friday night under the lights. Let's go with a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, hold to get another draw. I mean, that would be a decent draw. You know, I'm sure if that was the case, Lewis, you'd probably take that. Am I right?
Yeah, Daniel.
I'll,
And Spencer.
I would say yes, but at this point we need to win. I mean, I don't think we do win, but yeah, I'll take the point, provided it's a good game. But again, if it's more frustration, then yeah.
Yeah. I
And
mean, it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. You know, there's quite a few teams like that in the championship that just like, oh, can we just get that win? You know, Hull being one of them, obviously Luton as well, Portsmouth. I'd say another one of them teams, especially the results they've had. You know, in the opening start to the season back in the championship. I mean, Harry, let's say there's many different ways you said you can see it going. What is your final way you can see it going?
It's going to be the Kiefer Moore and Gustavo Aimer show. Going to be absolute limbs in that Sheffield United away end. Let's go for a solid 2-0 victory for Sheffield United.
Do you know what? I would not be surprised if Kiefer Moore scored. I know you've said this to me, you know, off air, Lewis, because obviously, you know, you guys were trying to, you know, get him in. And it would be typical, you know, also the sense of not even just that. He missed a penalty, didn't he, against Watford? You know, and he got quite a lot of stick for that. So I think he might, you know, bounce back and get a goal. I can see it. And Hamer's just Hamer, really, isn't he? So again, that's probably a good chance of that happening. You know, whether that's a goal or assist, he'll definitely affect the game in some way. I'm sure of that because he's quality, as we know. But yeah, I mean, Lewis, what's your like say, not too confident? What do you reckon the score will be then?
2-1 Sheffield United. I think they'll just. I don't know. It's like we'll definitely. I think we will score, but well, I don't know. It's a weird one because, like I say, it wouldn't even shock me if we do sneak it somehow. But I just can't see it. So 2-1 United.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm going to agree with Harry. I'm going to go 2-0 Sheffield United. I think it might be similar to their opening game of the season, maybe, in the sense of Hull will have more chances than Preston did. But I just think they'll just, you know, them players will just be able to shine through in the end. You know, i.e., like Harry says, Hamer, and especially players like that. But I don't think it'll be a dominant 2-0. You know, like I say, I think it'll be quite a tight one, but they'll just get 2 goals sort of out of nowhere, sort of thing. You know, and then just build on it really. So we shall see. But yeah, moving on to actually, in fact, we'll go through some comments. A lot of comments flying in. Big up to everyone inside. Shout out to Liam inside. Come on, big up to yourself, mate. He also says hello to you directly, Harry.
You know what, sexy?
Okay. Anyway, Daniel says, "Yo, lads, big up to yourself, mate. Big up to Spencer as well in the chat, and he's also gone 2-0 as well, Daniel, for this game.
Keeper more. La 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 la.
Yeah. Well, big up to yourself, Chris, mate. Hope you're well. Hanno putting in the comments, Lewis, sing for us. Oh, he's not in that mood, mate, of singing. He's not in that mood. It might change though, it might be. You know, you never know. Hull might get a shock result, you never know. But we'll see. Moving on to the 12:30 game now. There's obviously 3 again, but this is definitely the standout one. And that is obviously Leeds versus Burnley. Burnley got that draw, obviously, as we know, in Derby against Blackburn. I mean, for me, I thought they were quite fortunate to get a draw. You know, I thought Blackburn actually deserved to win the game, to be fair. You know, that goal that didn't stand was BS, you know, if we're going to be honest. And they gave it a right go and they've done really well. You know, people thought they would crumble, including myself, under Schmodix. And again, there's still a long way to go, but so far, unbeaten, you know, looking very good. Especially that Japanese player that's come in. He's looking very good. Obviously, you know, Wyman's still there scoring goals, as we know. Obviously, the spectacular one against Burnley. Leeds, on the other hand, you know, starting to kick a bit of form now. Back-to-back 2-0 wins. You know, obviously, you know, good away win at Sheffield Wednesday. You know, I felt, even though Sheffield Wednesday did play a high line and I weren't sure what they were really trying to do tactics-wise. But as for, you know, obviously the other game, obviously a good win against Hull at home. You know, it's an interesting one, this one, because Burnley, obviously, all of us, I'm sure, will probably expect them to win the league, you know, here, just because they've got that quality. Even though they've lost a lot of key players, they've still got quite a good core, you know, of a Premier League, you know, decent amount of players in that squad. However, Leeds, I mean, a lot of people's top two, wasn't it? You know, these two. It was mine, it was Lewis's. I think it might have been yours as well, Harry, if I'm correct.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't actually. You definitely had Burnley to win the league, though, didn't you? I know you had Luton actually, didn't you?
Yeah,
Good ass.
Luton.
Oh, bloody
I
hell,
thought-
you're more confident than me going into the season. But
No,
no, who was your second then? You must have had Burnley second.
it was Burnley or Sheffield United. I put.
Yeah. Well, either way, majority of people would have said, you know, Burnley and Leeds. I know a lot of other people did as well, and stuff like that. But interesting one going into this one because, like I say, Leeds are kicking a bit of form. Burnley, like I say, I thought they were quite fortunate. I don't know, man. I mean, Ellen Road. You reckon Leeds could proper kickstart their season now, Harry?
I mean, that is a factor. Yeah, I don't really like Leeds for particular reasons, but you know, under Ellen Road against Burnley, he's got a good chance. If it was at Burnley, you know, I think it would be a bit different. I mean, to be honest, I think it would still be a close game, but this is, for me, this one is tough to predict because anything could happen, to be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, interesting one. Two teams I'm sure you would have had up there, Hanno.
Yeah, I had Burnley. I didn't have Leeds in my top two. Where did I think I had Leeds like fourth or fifth. Let me quickly check. But yeah, they are up there, both of these teams. I think Leeds are probably just the favourites, just edging it. Where's my? I'd lead sixth, so
Still in the playoff conversation, yeah.
Yeah, playoffs. Burnley 2 in the league, of course, but Allen Road, I think this has got a Leeds one written all over it because they beat Sheffield Wednesday now 2-0, beat all 2-0. So I think they're gonna kickstart the season. Burnley lost to Sunderland, drew with Blackburn. Yeah, I'm gonna go Leeds. You know, just think they kickstart the season at home. They've got the confidence behind them to go and do it. So 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds, no, fair enough. Lewis, can you see Leeds continuing that momentum?
I don't know. I feel like it's a really tough one to call. Obviously, Burnley slips a little bit. Leeds only just really kickstarting in a sense. I just feel like it's one of them games where they've both got very good quality on the show. And I feel like they'll kind of even each other out. So I'm going to have 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. No, fair enough. I mean, it's a very, very hard game to call. You know, probably, definitely the best game on paper, but you know, it could be one of the hardest games to predict this weekend. But and there's quite a few of them, to be fair. But yeah, 1-1 draw, fair enough. I mean, Harry, how do you see this one going, mate?
I was waiting for the question for you asking me to ask that. Oh, mate. I actually, like Daniel's put in the chat 1-1 or 2-1 Leeds. but I could see it being 1-1 or 2-1 either way. You know what? Let's go for a Burnley win. They're going to bounce back, and they're going to have some limbs at Ellen Road, and it's going to be Leeds United 1, Burnley 2.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I've actually gone the same as Hanno. I reckon Leeds will win 2-1. Yeah, I just think the form they're on, and Burnley, I still expect them to win the league, but I just think, the form Leeds have been on. Yes, Burnley obviously, better than the two previous teams they played, but I just think they're getting that form going now. Them wingers are very, very dangerous players, and the way they were getting cut open to Blackburn, I think Leeds can definitely punish them, especially at home, 12:30. And I'm going to say 2-1 as well to Leeds. Like I say, again, if it's at Turf Moor, like Harry said earlier, I'd probably say something different, But I just think with it being at Leeds, I think they might do it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in that one.
I just want to point out, saying apparently Dan James is out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think they're all right. Still got good other wide players. They're all right.
Come on, Burnley.
Also, just to give you guys some head-to-head, last 4 games, Leeds have won 3 and drew 1.
It's that time, man. It's time for a Burnley win.
They do have a good record. I'll see that earlier. A shout out to Gary in the chat. He says Claret and Whites have a draw written all over that one. I mean, yeah, it is a very difficult one, like we say. It's one of them games. If someone wins, you can't see it being by a 2-goal margin. Because it's they're both teams that a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people have said top 2. So difficult, man. Difficult one to predict for sure. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Oh, great. Obviously, we're travelling to the Den. I mean, I remember doing a watch along last season with my dad and Chris, and Bailey was even in it, and we all witnessed a 0-0 draw. I mean, it was one of them, though, where you could tell both teams were, not last. Did I say last year? I meant the year before. Both teams were playoff contenders. It was very tight. It weren't a bad 0-0 draw. It was just no one could break through. I mean, for me, the way I see this game, right, I don't mind playing a back 3. Ideally, I want to go with a back 4. But I don't mind playing a back 3 as long as we've got more cover in midfield. And for me, we have to be playing 2 up front because Morris is not working deep. Yeah, he's not been great. He needs to bring a different dimension to his game. He just tries to hold it up and he's on the floor moaning or whatever. However, at the same time, he's playing too deep. He needs to be up there with Elijah. Him and Elijah are so isolated in games. Yes, Elijah's having chances and he should have scored by now. I'm not disputing that. However, Morris is not even having them chances. So for me, going into this, we need to play 2 up front. I don't care how many in midfield, as long as it's not 2, because he will go over back 3. I'll be very, very surprised if he doesn't. But Millwall, it's a difficult game. 7 of our last 10 games have been draws against them guys. Last time we beat them was 2021, I believe, when Cornick scored a brace under Nathan Jones. 2 very good goals, to be fair to him, bottom corner and top corner. But it's difficult, man. It's a difficult place to go to. Historically, we like a draw, like I say. They got a convincing win. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday haven't been great since the opening day of the season, but still, to win in that manner at home, good win. Their problem at the start of the season was they was conceding quite a few, as much as they were scoring. So it's going to be difficult, man. They've got good players. Tanganga's there permanently. They've got good strikers as well. So I'm not going to underestimate them at all, especially at their ground, like I say. So for me, I'll start off with my prediction in this one. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with a draw again. I don't think we'll quite get that opening win. I'd love to be proven wrong, obviously, but I don't think we're going to get that opening win yet. I do think he will change it up. if he doesn't, then I'm going to say there's questions to be asked because you've had 2 weeks now, transfer window. 2 weeks international break. Well, you have actually signed a player as well, which I'm very happy about. But at the same time, 2 in midfield, it's not working, bro. It's not working. So you have to put more bodies in there. And you have to play Morris higher because Taylor's not going to play. The only way Taylor will play is if someone gets injured. So for me, as long as we have 2 up front and more bodies in midfield, I think we can get a result. If we play how we've been playing formation-wise, then we're not getting nothing. So that's my thoughts. And yeah, like I say, draw. I'm going to go over 0-0 again, but I think it'll be an all right 0-0. We'll both have chances to win, but we don't quite take them for me. So hopefully I'm wrong, but that's my thoughts on it. Harry, talk to me. Talk to me about this signing as well. Your thoughts on it of experienced Victor Moses.
Yeah, man. Can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a spark. Victor Moses on fire. He'll be playing the Millwall off the park. Yeah, man. Great signing. Absolutely fantastic. Great experience. And you know what? He could easily get in a Premier League team easily as well, in my opinion. So it's a great signing. And, you know, if you do go up, he's a player already ready to play in the Premier League if you do go up this season, which I still think is possible. You got to have the faith, keep the faith. And Millwall, a team that's obviously been scoring goals but conceding, so there's a good chance you'll have chances in that game. You know, your defence, to be fair, apart from the Burley game, as far as I'm aware, haven't conceded too many goals. So it could be one of them where it's quite a close game, or you know, end to end. Pretty like that's what I'm expecting, end to end. Really, I think Millwall will go for it because they're at home, and Robbie Edwards, the big man himself, is under huge pressure at the minute, and next 2 games are big, and then obviously the third one, which is Plymouth, which hopefully we will be going to that, Tyler, and we will. And this time we will actually experience Rooney ball like Lewis experienced it. We will eat our fish and chips and actually win at Plymouth.
Oh god! You know someone's going to go back to that if we don't win.
But yeah, this is Millwall, and yeah, I think quite a confident going into this game. If you're a Hatters fan, I mean, a lot of Hatters fans think it'd be a rollover, which I don't really agree with, which I know you don't either.
No way.
So yeah, it'd be a good game, I think. Do you want me to give my score prediction now?
Yeah, give your score predictions now, guys.
Yeah, Millwall 1, Luton Town 2, and a Victor Moses winner.
Oh, that'll be limbs, mate. That'll be limbs. But yeah, no, talking on that just quickly, obviously I did a video about it, but there's something I didn't mention, or I might have mentioned it, but we replaced Chio / Townsend, which I'm happy about. So I remember when me and my dad done the rating the transfer window, I said that's the only thing that's worried me. We haven't really replaced Chio. But obviously we know, he's very versatile. You know, quite a lot of different positions. You know, whether that's a 10, you know, either side of the wing backs. He play a lot of positions, so that's good as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, 2-1 Luton. Okay, interesting. Hanno, what do you reckon? What do you reckon the Hatters will do this weekend then?
Well, it has to be something different than what you have been doing. Yeah, it's been a terrible week, 4 weeks for Luton, and playing Millwall, who is coming off a win and a draw. And to be fair to Millwall, they went away to Hull City, got a draw, and done the business over Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, Millwall are looking decent. Again, Luton is it time to evolve? That's the whole thing of the back three. Of any manager that plays it, it's always looking to evolve and improve on that. So my question is, how do you do that? Is it by going to back four, or is it by maybe changing formations from just by putting more bodies in midfield? Which is clear, which is the problem, as well as your backup depth at centre back is pretty poor. But that's things that the Luton board did not address. That's on them. But Rob Edwards can only do so much of what he has, and I think he needs to make changes. You're saying Morris should stay. I think he should bin him, put him on the bench, take that captain's armband off him. If you're starting him, take that captain's armband off him, because that's also annoying. Seeing him
No, I agree.
putting
I agree. I've said it. I've said it openly. Amari Bell should be the captain for me. He was actually it when it originally. Sorry, the second time it happened to Lockyer, he was it, but he got injured. So
no. Because every time I see him put in a stinker, I just see that captain's armband, and I'm like, you are no. You are the captain. Yeah. It doesn't look good. So yeah, but Woodrow, I think give him a chance, because he can't do physically any worse than what has been done by his counterparts up front. Give him a chance. But yeah, Luton have had two weeks to help them get some of their players back. So should be a pretty strong lineup, because I don't think you have many injuries
no, we're
left.
actually all right at the moment. No, we've got a lot of players coming
Yeah.
back. Still got some, the rare few like Jacob Brown and that. I can't wait till he'll be back. I think it'll be massive. But yeah, it's not as bad as it was last season.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Joe Taylor. You man, you deserve a prop. You deserve to go to a proper club. Like, oh, go to Flourish, man, Flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So,
I'm
yeah.
going to.
But score prediction. Yeah. Do I trust Luton to keep a clean sheet? No. Do I think Luton can score 2 goals? No. 1-1 draw.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we like to draw against Millwall, like I say, so it could very well be. But yeah, Lewis is gone for his dinner. He says tea. I think Northerners. No offense to Northerners in the chat, but yeah, man, we'll just do quick fire ones for Lewis, I guess, at the end. Then when it comes to that, Spencer says 1-1. Yep, same as you, Hanno. When it comes to that, a lot of people saying 1-0 Luton. I mean, the three ways I can see it, guys, right? And I'll be honest, I can either see a 0-0, like I've said, but a good 0-0, a 1-0 to someone, or 1-0. I don't know if there'll be more goals than that in this game, but we'll see. I mean, Daniel's gone 1-0, Chris has gone 1-0 as well. And also, Gary says the Hatters need to adapt quickly. Historically, draws to be a mindset, which is true. And players need to have an attitude change, but a close game and a Millwall 1-0 win. Yeah, no, that's fair enough, mate. Like I say, I can see it, to be fair. So no, I didn't see that really. I don't know if anyone else has seen that. You seen Ten Hag respond to Ronaldo's comments? I don't even know
Yeah,
what
I
Ronaldo.
have.
Yeah.
What
I
it-
saw
what it-
that,
what-
but I haven't looked at it.
Context. What actually happened then? What did Ronaldo say?
So Ronaldo basically said, because Ten Hag and Bruno said like, United aren't in the position to challenge to win the league, so the aim is top four. But then Ronaldo basically said, you manage Manchester United. If you say you aren't going to win the league or challenge for the league, then you are disgraced, because even if you don't, you have to try basically. Like you can't just say, we're not gonna win the league, let's just challenge for top four. You
Yeah,
have to have that mindset basically.
yeah,
But I will send you the comments now of what he said.
yeah. No worries, mate. Yeah, like I say, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. Spencer says Luton does need to start climbing a ladder. Still a long way to go, but don't want to bury yourselves this early. Yeah, exactly, mate. I totally agree with that. And that's how it is, really. And I'm not worrying. I'm not going down or anything like that. But it's just a fact of, it's not looking good. You know, you know, I'm not going to say we're too good to go down. No one's ever too good to go down. But realistically, look at the players we have. Some of them players, do you know what I mean? Are incredible. So, for the championship anyway. So it's just one of them, innit? We just need to change it up. But like I said, I will be frustrated if he goes with the exact same formation, because it's like you've had 2 weeks, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to change it up. So yeah, there we go. With that, but yeah, moving on.
That's basically what Tannock said there in the Chris's next comment.
Oh yeah, this one. Yes.
He basically said Ronaldo should leave United alone because it's far away from United. It's in Saudi, so.
Jeez, it's all a bit mad there. Moving on to the next one. 12:30 game, last 12:30 game. Oxford United versus Stoke City. Now, Harry, mate, we said Plymouth would beat Stoke. We thought they'd get off the mark, being at home as well. Having that really good, vital point away at QPR. Oxford, obviously done very well at home. They've done very well throughout the season. They've given it a right go in every game. Even the ones they've lost away against Blackburn and Coventry, they give it a right go. I mean, it's a difficult one to predict for me because you look at it, right? Oxford have been very good at home, like I say. Stoke are one of them teams that are very hit and miss. But they can be that team to grind out an away win, like they did at Plymouth. So I don't know, it's an interesting one. I mean, you look at these teams, it's like I always say, it's like Daniel said in the chat, if they stay up, it's down to that home form. I mean, Harris is on fire. He scored in every single game. Tyler, good win with a great goal as well in the last game. Very emphatic win, to be fair. Great comeback against Preston. So for me right now, it's difficult not to back them when they're at home. So I'm actually going to say an Oxford win. I'm going to say it's a close game though. I'm going to say a 1-0 win for Oxford, which I think I did actually say that against Preston. And obviously there was more goals, but yeah, I'll say 1-0 to Oxford. I could see Harris scoring again for a fifth time, which would be remarkable, for a team that's come up, in a row. But even what he's got now is remarkable, but it could be even better. So 1-0 Oxford for me. Harry, can you see this Oxford home form continuing?
100%. I mean, boring old Stoke. Did they win at Plymouth? Correct.
Yeah, 1-0, 83rd minute goal it was.
I mean, in a way, they were quite lucky. I thought, to be honest, to get the win because I thought Rooney's side deserved something from the game, and they did have some good chances and they looked lively. So I thought Plymouth were unlucky in that game. Stoke, side that I've reiterated weeks on this show that are just boring. Get a win, then go to shit. Oxford, though, been very good, very, very good. And I predicted them to stay up. I stand by that. And yeah, I don't see anything other than an Oxford winning this for me. Harris, like you said, Tyler, been brilliant. And just their team togetherness has been great. And they're giving it a right go. And that's what you need. So I think I compared it to when Luton win the Premier League. When they give it a right good go, it's similar with Oxford in the Championship. So, yeah, I think 3-0 Oxford in this.
Jeez, convincing win. Interesting there. I mean, Hanno, can you also see the form continuing, or can you see Stoke getting a result?
Well, I just saw that. I didn't check the results last weekend. I just seen they actually smashed Preston 3-1. That's crazy.
Went 1-0 down as well.
Madness. So yeah, to be fair to Stoke, did go away, but this should be an Oxford one. I'll back them to keep a clean sheet 2-0.
2-0. Nice. Yeah, Daniel said 2-0 as well. With that, obviously Hanno's put in the comments as well. United manager, you cannot say that you're going to fight to win the Premier League or Champions League. Got to say maybe we've not got the potential, but we're going to try. You have to try. Ten Hag said that Man United can't win the Premier League. Said this. If you read the article very well, and there's this. Ronaldo is far away in Saudi, far away from Manchester. Everyone can have an opinion. It's okay. So bloody hell. To be fair, I'm a little bit surprised Ten Hag's even responded. I know they had a bit of back and forth when he was leaving and that, but still, I don't know. A lot of these managers just tended to keep it off hooks. However, any of you see what the Barnet manager said? I did rate that. Let me know in the chat as well if any of you see that, where he was basically calling out certain fans. They won I think they won 2-1 against Altrincham, who are a decent team, for that level. I actually spoke to a few Altrincham season ticket holders, and they won 2-1 and the fans were still moaning. I think if you win, even if it's not great, you shouldn't really complain. It's more so if you lose and you're not looking good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. But that was quite interesting, man. When I saw that, I mean, did any of you guys see that?
Nah, you just told me about it earlier today.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. Watch it. It's on Sky Sports YouTube. It's actually really good. It's probably the best interview I've seen a manager say. Originally, I thought it was a Dorking Wanderers manager when he calls it how it is. But he proper called it out, and I respect that. He's like, at the end of the day, it's their money; they can do what they want. But at the end of the day, I'm not happy with this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just won a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all their fans, but if certain ones he's calling them out, man, it was quite interesting, really, when it comes to that. But yeah, man, I mean, he was actually my local team, the area I live in. He actually used to manage them as well. And he was there for a good, I think it was about 6 years. Everyone loved him, so fair play, man. I mean, I rate that, managers calling it out. I do. Because a lot of them are soft, I'll be honest. They do just try and be on, the side without saying too much and just be on the safe side, essentially. So I did rate that. When it comes to that, Oxford are so very far strong at home. Agree with you. 1-0 at Kassam. Yeah, exactly. It could be one of them. With that, yeah, no worries, Daniel. I will do if that's the case. Yeah, definitely. Like, I would understand it if they lost, but they won. That's the thing I didn't understand. They won. It's a decent Altrincham side. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, they lost to Gateshead, right? Game before that, away, which is a long trip. From where they are, and certain fans were clapping. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's madness to me. Like, if you're not winning, I understand, but if you're winning, why are you moaning? If it's not convincing, who cares? You're winning games. You know what I mean? Luton could play crap for a whole game and win. I'd love it because we haven't won at all. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next game, the 3:00 game. Quite an interesting one, this one, I think. Blackburn Rovers versus Bristol City. Now, again, like a lot of you will know, I've got high expectations for Bristol City this year. I actually think they will sneak into the playoffs. I think they're on the rise season upon season. Taking on Blackburn, who, like I mentioned earlier, have done very well since the departure of Smodic so far. Still, unbeaten. Should have beat Burnley, but it weren't, because they were poor or anything. In the final third, they were just very unfortunate. In that game, I mean, they're at home. Bristol City, they're not so good away so far this season. Obviously, had an awful result in their last away game, 3-0 loss to Derby in that game. So Blackburn, they would be the favourites, and they are my favourites in this game. I'm going to say it's a close game, though, but they edge it. I'm going to say 2-1 to Blackburn Rovers in this one. Harry, can you see that form continuing for Blackburn where they stay unbeaten?
I think so. I can't see them losing the game. I think Bristol, I'm pretty sure, have had a couple of poor results recently.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So, it's one of them where John Eustace said it many
manager as well,
times. Yeah, good manager, sets his team up, starts up from the back, then uses it to counter attack. I don't know if that's still the same at Blackburn. I assume it is, because that's usually style of play. And with Blackburn, it's working. And to be fair, from the last day of the season, when they went to Leicester and won, that has more or less continued. And if they carry on, why not? They could finish in the playoffs, and they could be the surprise package this season, and they're doing really well. So yeah, it'd be an interesting game. Bristol need to try and bounce back. I think a point they'd be happy with, personally, considering how Blackburn have been. But I think Blackburn just got too much for them, and I think Blackburn will win 2-0.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it is an interesting one when you think about it because, for some reason I said Blackburn would get relegated. I don't know why when thinking about it. I mean, part of that was because of the Schmodix thing. I thought it'd be a lot more impactful. And again, we've still got a lot of games to go. But again, like you say, got a good manager, See, Eustace. I've rated him. I thought he'd done well at Birmingham as well. So, I don't know, man.
Worst mistake ever last season was Birmingham.
Getting rid of him.
Getting rid of him.
Yeah. No, I totally
Guarantee
agree.
wouldn't have gone down. No way.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But Hanno, mate, how do you see this one going? Are you on the same wavelength as me and Harry? You see the Blackburn unbeaten run continuing?
Bristol just lost to Derby away. They have won the game away from home. True to all on the first day. Yeah. I think if it was at Bristol, I think Bristol would win, but at Blackburn, I think a Blackburn won. Yeah. I'll go high scoring though. Go 3-2.
Oh, interesting. I mean, to be fair, Bristol City, they had a 4-3, didn't they, at home against Millwall? Blackburn are that sort of team that do score a lot of goals sometimes. Look at their opening day game against Derby, 4-2, wasn't it, in the end? So it is possible, definitely possible with that. But Lewis is obviously back, as you can see. Lewis, quick fire prediction. Actually, I think you only missed 2 games. Actually, you didn't predict the Luton game, did you?
Yeah, 2-0 Luton.
Oh, nice. I like that. You're more confident than me. And then the other game was Oxford versus Stoke.
2-1 Oxford.
2-1 Oxford, yeah, fair enough. And then this one now, Blackburn, Bristol City.
1-0 Bristol.
Oh, interesting.
Lewis, do you need ours to put down or not? Or
Yours, yeah.
3-0 Oxford.
3-0 Oxford. Yeah.
And then Blackburn to win 2-0 against Bristol.
Yep, right, yep. Let's go on. Move on.
Yeah. Daniel said 2-1 Blackburn as well. Same as me. On that one, Gary says 2-0. City poor travellers early doors. Yeah, they are. I still think as the season goes on, they'll be up there. But definitely in the conversation. But we'll see. As time goes on. With that, moving on to the next one, Derby. Obviously, briefly spoke about them a minute ago. Taking on Cardiff. Cardiff obviously been the worst team in the league as it stands. Bottom of the league. Conceded obviously a fair bit of goals. Early on in this stage. Taking on Derby again, a lot of us said it anyway at the start of the season. If they're to stay up, it will be because of that, home form. Obviously, they got a very emphatic win, like we said, against Bristol City in the last game, and again, they would be the favourites going into this because of that, and also because of the fact of how poor Cardiff have been. in this game. So I can't see anything other than a Derby win. And you wouldn't have said that at the start of the season, especially that convincingly. But I think it might be a bit of a closer game than some people might anticipate. But I'm going to say a 2-0 victory for Derby, another clean sheet. But Cardiff, they need to get a result sooner rather than later. As much as it is early doors, it's not looking too great. And the manager could be under a lot of pressure if this continues. But yeah, that's what I reckon for that game. Harry, can you see the Derby home form continuing similar to Oxford's?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Cardiff not done a lot, have they, really, other than that Derby Day limbs against Swansea. I mean, you never know, they might,
That track is shit.
But yeah, they might have some confidence in that sense of that result. But then a Derby side who, at home, going to be tough to beat teams, obviously, like Middlesbrough, for example, at home. And if you can beat Middlesbrough at home, you can certainly beat Cardiff at home. So I don't really see anything other than a Derby win, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was a battering. It might be a bit mad to say, but I just wouldn't. No, I don't think it will be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. I think Cardiff would, to be honest, a point for Cardiff would be a good result, but they'd have to work hard for it. Maybe Callum Robinson can come up with the goods there, but I don't see it. So I think solid 2-0 Derby win.
Yeah, I'll say same as me there then. Fair enough. It could very well be, like I say, it could be vital for them. Had a much better, start to their season than a lot of people would have anticipated. But Hanno, mate, are you on the same wavelength, or can you see Cardiff getting a result which would be very beneficial for them?
Well, to be fair to Cardiff, they have played some tough teams. Like they played Sunderland, Burnley, Swansea, and Middlesbrough. Probably all of those teams, maybe except Swansea, will be fighting for top 6. But so I think if they get a nice patch of fixtures, they can. But Derby have been on fire, especially at home, like you guys said, beating Middlesbrough there, beating Bristol there. So I'm gonna go for a 3-1-1. So Gary, great minds think alike.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Gary says it there. Got fancy a Derby with 3-1. Yeah, exactly. Definitely, with how they've been. Lewis, are you on the same wavelength Derby win?
Yeah, I think you have to be. I think the home form, like you said earlier, I think you said it, is going to be absolutely crucial if they are to stay up. Which, looking how they've started, it doesn't look beyond the doubt. I know we're only early in the season, but they would be a team that you, well, more or less guaranteed to go down probably. But no, they proved that was a bit wrong, and I think with how we look at them, and especially at home, I think you have to give a lot more respect to them. I think I don't remember who they're playing. Who are they playing? Cardiff. They haven't had the greatest team from start, so I think you have to back Derby. So we'll go 2-1 Derby.
No,
Why?
someone's watching a bit of T-Boys TV.
I know.
There we go. But yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. With that, yeah, moving on to sorry, actually, I nearly forgot Daniel's prediction: 1-1 or 2-1 to Derby. Yeah, fair enough. It's one in a minute where majority of people back Derby. Moving on to the next game, Middlesbrough versus Preston. Again, briefly, spoke about these two teams earlier and talked about their previous games. I mean, for me, interesting one because Preston, obviously, they went 1-0 up away at Oxford, then obviously lost. I mean, I expected them to lose in that game, just not in the manner that they did. Especially after getting that, win against us guys. I thought they'd be a little bit better than that. But yeah, as for Middlesbrough, I mean, again, quite inconsistent for me. 1 minute they can have a good result, winning a game at home against, Swansea, someone like that, and then they'll lose, won't they? Like they did to Derby, for example, like you said, even though Derby have done well. I do think because Middlesbrough are at home, though, I do, back them to win. I think, Heckingbottom's still, learning things with his side. So for me, I'm going to say they do it in typical Middlesbrough fashion at home, and that is a 1-0 victory in that game. Gone with quite a few teams to get clean sheets this weekend. But yeah, I think 1-0 to Middlesbrough in this one. I'll start off with, we'll go over to Lewis. Lewis, we'll start off with you, mate. What do you reckon for this one?
Is that deep though? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I feel like you probably look at Preston and go, yeah, they've looked okay in the new manager, but obviously, like you said, he's still learning. Obviously, he's had a week to regroup and probably learn a bit more. Obviously, he's probably not going to be fully there. I think Middlesbrough, they've looked okay, I guess, this off season. They've not been anything special or anything like that, but I feel like they definitely have the potential to bounce back here. But I feel like with Preston and how they've started a bit iffy, but both teams have, I feel like it's one of them games where it's not going to be a great watch. And I generally think this might be the 0-0 game of the week, so 0-0.
Fair enough. I mean, there's always one of them, so you could very much be right. Obviously, I unfortunately said it on the Luton game. But yeah, Harry, can you see Middlesbrough getting a win, or can you see Preston getting a bit more of a bounce, I guess, with Heckingbottom?
Just want to start by saying 2 boring clubs. The best thing about Middlesbrough, they've got a player called Latte Laugh. And Preston, the best thing about them is they've got a manager that they shouldn't really have because he's too good for them. So yeah, like Lewis said, I think it'd be a boring game. No, there's not too much to say. I'm getting bored just talking about the game. But you know what? I'm going to have a bit of Heckingbottom limbs and a bit of Preston away and limbs. And we're going to go for a bit of a 1-0 Preston win.
Oh, don't remind me of 1-0 wins to Preston. That's just reminding me of that game.
No, Harry, you are definitely waffling. All waffle.
You are?
How's a team that just got slapped up by newly promoted Oxford
Yeah, that's all right.
Harry,
going away to the Riverside and beating them?
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
100%, oh my God. Clippers, you know where it's at. You know where it's at. This don't go the way you think.
Oxford have a lot of firepower, in my opinion. I mean, I think
to be fair, what I will say about Oxford, as much as they're a newly promoted team, they've actually got quite a lot of experience within their squad.
True. But do you know, in that one game where Preston conceded 3 goals,
yeah, man.
in 4 games, Middlesbrough have only conceded 3 goals.
Yeah.
Hanno, what's your prediction then for this one?
It's going to be a battering. It's going to be 3-0 Middlesbrough.
Oh, jeez.
After battering.
Jeez, fair enough. I mean, you never know. There is one game you always look at and go, whoa, what does that really happen in the Championship? So, Yeah, there we go with that. There might be a few in a week, to be fair, especially this week. There's a lot of interesting ones. Moving on to the next one. I mean, Sunderland back-to-back trips down at the south coast. I mean, if they didn't have an international break, they'd have probably just stayed down there. Some of them, to be fair, I don't blame them, even though it would have been a week wait. But they are taking on Plymouth, who again, I thought they'd get that win against Stoke at home, being at home, getting that vital point away at QPR. Didn't quite do that. Taking on informed Sunderland, who won every single game. Good win, as much as Portsmouth did sort of give them, some goals, it was still very good, to go there and win in the manner that they did. So they've had great results before that as well. I don't know. This game is probably, most people now on and say a Sunderland win. And I think, obviously I'm on the same wavelength as that. And I'm gonna say they win quite emphatically. I can't see Plymouth scoring, but I just think Sunderland are too good at the moment. And I'm going to say a 3-1 victory, away victory for Sunderland. Very, very long trip, as we know. So hopefully for them, it's some away end limbs, and I think it will be. So 3-1. I'd say they continue this form against Plymouth. Harry, how do you see this one going?
Easy dub for Plymouth. That's what I think.
Really?
Yep. Sunderland.
Now you're talking facts. This is where you talk facts.
Sunderland's been good, but they're going to slip up at some point. And Rooney Ball is going to come through this weekend, I think. Just got a feeling. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I mean, I might be going a bit crazy when I say this, and I might have some points costed to me at the end of the weekend from the Preston game and from the Plymouth game. But you need to take risks in life, and I'm going to take a risk with saying Plymouth are going to beat Sunderland. So 2-1 Plymouth.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I do expect them to kick on at some point at home. And I agree. I do think Sunderland's will fall off a little bit. Still think they'll be in the playoff conversation. But yeah, when it comes to automatics, I do think it's still not quite there when it comes to that, personally. But yeah, okay. Well, Hanno, you said he's talking facts at this moment. So I'm guessing you're saying a Plymouth win as well?
Of course. When a team usually goes firing in the early stages, they usually burn out. And I think they might burn out a tiny bit. That fire won't go straight away, but this is where they have a bit of a dip. And it will be clean sheets for Rooney's men. Proper English battle game. This will be 1-0 Plymouth.
Oh, you can hear that. That's my buzzer going off, so I do apologise about that. 1-0 Plymouth, did you say?
Yeah, 1-0 Plymouth.
Yeah, no,
clean sheets.
I mean,
do
you know what? The more I think about it, do you know what? I could actually say, because how many times have they got a clean sheet now? Every single game bar Portsmouth. Sunderland so far.
Sunderland.
Because the thing is, they could go in there overconfident. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Plymouth haven't quite got that. They ain't won yet, have they? As far as I'm aware.
No, Plymouth haven't won here.
No, they haven't, have they? So maybe. I mean, Whittaker is coming close, to be fair. I know he scored against QPR, but, the home games, he's been coming close. So I can definitely see him scoring. I don't know. I think Sunderland will still do it. If they're playing a team that are a bit more informed, then I'd maybe back them, if they're away. But I don't know, man. I think them fans going all that way, they've got to experience some limbs, and I think they will. So, yeah. Lewis, how do you see this one going, mate?
Similar to well, and I just can't see any way Rooney can do anything to rally up the team to beat Sunderland, who are absolutely high flying. I just look at it and go, just going to be another one of them games where Rooney, they probably give it a go, but I just can't see anything but a 2-0 Sunderland win, and I'd love to know what Harry and Hanno are smoking, and I want to know.
Lewis is just rattled that he didn't go to Plymouth and get a win.
Yeah. Surely you would know what Plymouth have to offer after what you experienced over there.
Not a lot. It's all just shite.
It's
And
all
this
right,
is why you tune into the championship show, guys. Yeah, we come at each other. As long as it's not personally, it's all good. But yeah, anyway, I don't know if I read your other comment on that, Gary. So there you go, 1-1 draw for that. Also, he is a Sunderland fan. Big up to yourself, mate.
Yeah,
Can't see anything but another win. 5 on the bounce for us. 3-0. Jeez. Yes, I'm the Mac, and we'll be beaten, but not yet. Yeah, no, I think we'll win. I think we'll win. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Hanno, I know you've got to go in 2 minutes' time, so I'll just run through quick fire predictions, mate. Sheffield Wednesday, QPR.
Chef. 1-1.
1-1. Okay, fair enough. Swansea City, Norwich. Now you might, you could get some backlash from Harry on this one.
Swansea. Wait.
Be careful.
Where's Swansea in the table?
I think they're about
16th,
the
Norwich there. 1-1 again.
I'll take that. Why did that though? It's not bad.
Fair enough. Right, Hanno. Now this could be a decider. Watford, Coventry.
Where's Coventry? Are they in the top 10? Okay, they're 17.
They're below that, I think.
Coventry. Who did Coventry even play?
Coventry have been hit and miss.
Norwich, Bristol. Yeah. Watford 3-2-1 to Watford.
No. And then the last, I believe it's the last one anyway. No, 2 more, sorry. Oh, no, it is the last one, my bad. Portsmouth, West Brom. Quite an interesting one, that one.
Portsmouth gonna pick up their first one, man. Let's go 2-1. 2-1 Portsmouth.
Nice. There you go. Well, thank you for coming on, Hanno.
Thanks for having me.
Just before I let you leave, obviously I'll put his on my channel. I'll put his channel in the description, guys. I know you're 1 subscriber away, aren't you, Hanno? From 700.
Yeah, from 700.
So, guys, you know what to do.
I hit it, then I did. I fell back, so yeah. But pushing, man, pushing. End of the year, 1K. We will be there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, do subscribe to Hanno. Thank you for coming on, mate. And
man.
Yeah. Say anything you want to say quickly if you want to say anything.
Yeah. If you can subscribe, YouTube Coach's Corner, and then Spotify. I have started up a Spotify account, so just search my channel name and then look for that logo, and then yeah, that's it. I will be uploading 2 more today and tomorrow on there. So yeah, but be happy yourselves. And come on, new artists, and hopefully this house will get something.
Yeah.
So
big up yourself, Hanno, mate. Big up to Hanno there. But yeah, let's go back to where we were. Sheffield Wednesday versus QPR. Now, start of the season, you could have probably said this might be a relegation battle, potentially. QPR obviously got that good win against us, even though I didn't think they were great. We handed them goals. You've got to give them credit. That Fry, he done take the L. Man done a fortnight dance, bro. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, but he's definitely a good player, and he could be a massive signing for them. But yeah, taking on Sheffield Wednesday, they've been poor, like I said earlier, since the opening day of the season. They are at home though. I do expect them to be much better at home. I mean, their last home game against Leeds, they were terrible. Again, it's Leeds, but I felt the way they were playing at High Line was very, very silly in that game. But yeah, I mean, interesting one because QPR will be up for it, after getting that win. However, Sheffield Wednesday need to try and get something in this game, especially at home. But for me, I am gonna say, do you know what? I haven't gone with a goal scoring game yet, really. So other than the last one, but I'm gonna go for a high scoring draw. I'm gonna say a 2-2 draw in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if QPR nicked it, but I'm gonna say a draw. Sheffield Wednesday being at home. Harry, how'd you see this one going, mate?
Blooming heck. Two pretty poor sides. Sheffield Wednesday seriously need a win. QPR, they've not been too bad, considering, they beat Luton, which was a good result. So it makes it interesting that I think it's Dembele or whatever his name is at Queen's Park Rangers, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's him. He's good player. Of course, that's quite a lot.
Yeah. You up?
I was just saying he caused us a lot of havoc.
Yeah, I think that he could be the big difference in this game. It's one of them where could Sheffield United get a win and have the crowd beyond the back, or it's like if they go 1-0 down, the crowd will probably get a bit, be a bit tensiony. It's a tough one to predict, but I'm going to bite the bullet and say 2-1 Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I was just sorting something out. But yeah, like 2-1 QPR. Yeah, like I say, I could see that. Yeah, Lewis. I mean, can you see Sheffield Wednesday getting a result?
Nope.
No, straight up,
They've been
no.
so poor since opening day. And yeah, this is a decent opportunity, but I just don't see where the hope is because, like I said, they've been so poor, like so poor, and QPR have not. They've had a solid. I know I said QPR said down, but they've had a solid start, and I think QPR would have listed up a bit more energy, a bit more fire. Obviously coming off a win against Luton and that. So I'm going to with a 3-1 QPR.
Fair enough. Away convincing win. No, that'd be very good for them guys, unfortunately. But yeah, moving on to the next one, which is obviously Swansea versus Norwich. Now, Swansea, probably one of them teams you look at might finish mid-table again. Norwich didn't start off too great, but I do think as the weeks have gone on, they've done all right. Getting some decent draw against a good Blackburn side in form. Obviously, won away at Coventry in their last game, which again they do have a really good record against them. Like I mentioned going into it, but clean sheet away as well, always good. They're away again against Swansea. Very long trip for the Norwich fans when it comes to that. And yeah, I think they're kicking on a little bit, Norwich. And I think they might edge it. I can see another 1-0 away win. So I'm going to say they do it. Josh Sargent, I can see him scoring. And I was looking at a couple of their games coming up. And I think they could, climb up the table a little bit. Harry might not like me to say that, but yeah, I'm going to say 1-0 away win for Norwich in this one. Harry, you reckon Swansea will win then?
I think it'll be a pretty boring game, to be honest. I actually do. I don't think Norwich have been great, which is good. Swansea not been great, which is not so good because they need to beat these Canary. I'm not going to say the next word I was going to say, but yeah, they need to beat them, and hopefully they will. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. There's not a lot to say other than fuck the Canaries and up to Swansea City. So 1-0 Swansea.
You'd think you're an Ipswich fan. Oh yeah, but yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I agree. I don't think it's going to be the best of games. But yeah, man. I mean, Lewis, how do you see this one go?
I feel like Norwich will start kicking on now. It's honestly they've just been bog standard, just how they usually are. I just feel like after the big end commentary for Norwich, I feel like they'll kick on now and start firing their way back to where they probably should be. I'm going to go 2-1 Norwich win. Sorry, absolutely not sorry, Harry.
Gary's gone 2-1 as well. He also said for the QPR game, 2-0 win for QPR. Again, I could even see that, to be fair. You know, you look at their last game, Sheffield Wednesday. Again, that was against Leeds, but still, the way they play is quite open in the sense of the high line, and I think it's quite easy to exploit them. So it could very well be, especially the way Fry has been playing. But we'll see. And then moving on to the next one, them guys down the road, they're at home, literally down the road from me, pretty much. Not literally, but anyway, I'm waffling. Taking on Coventry. I mean, Coventry, like I said earlier, I've been very hit and miss over this one. I mean, most people probably back Watford because they have been on good form, you know, bar the Sheffield United game where obviously it ended. But again, they were in it to a certain extent. They just weren't great in the final third. I mean, Coventry, they're very hit and miss. Like I say, they've got good attack, you know, as we know, but they're not quite firing. Quite similar to Luton's, actually, in the sense they're not really firing. You know, the only good game I can really think Haji Wright had was that Oxford game where he scored 2. Do you know what? I reckon this Watford form continues now. They've gone a bit of a downward spiral. Norwich away next week as well for them. 2-1 Coventry. I'm going to say Coventry away in limbs, as Harry loves to say. Not quite Coventry because I don't like him, but away in limbs. So I'm going to say that 2-1 in that one. So that's my thoughts. Harry, how do you see this one going?
Again, it could be an end-to-end game, could be a tight game. It's really actually quite to predict. So I've got to be careful what I say, but you got to go what your head thinks. And I just think Coventry, you know, they've got good strikers in Sims and Santi, but they're not firing that as much as they should be. And it'd be interesting as the international break benefited Coventry or Watford. We'll have to see. But I think Watford being at home will unfortunately pay dividends. So I'm going to say Watford 2, Coventry 1.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I can see it 2-1 either way, to be honest. Can't really see a draw in this game. I can see someone winning, definitely. But yeah, Lewis, do you see Watford bouncing back after that Sheffield United result?
In some respects, yes. I feel like two decent sides. I feel like we've had a very good game, to be fair, where both teams are firing at it, both are creating chances. Very open, very even, I think, as well. I think Coventry, yeah, I don't remember their last result.
1-0 loss at home to Norwich.
1-0 last. So they want to, of course, they'll want to. Apart from that, Watford want to keep their home form going. So for me, I think it'll be a very good game. I'm going to 2-2 draw.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Coventry definitely take that, I'm sure, especially given the form Watford have been on. Bar obviously the last game, obviously losing out on that one, but other than that, it's much better than a lot of people would have expected so far. Gary, jeez, gone with a very convincing win for Watford, 3-0. So they can't see Coventry getting anything. 3-0, jeez, interesting. I mean, hopefully not, in the sense of that result, but we shall see. Moving on to the last game, which is on Sunday. Quite a good game, actually, to be fair. And that is Portsmouth West Brom. Now, both teams have done very well this season. As much as Portsmouth haven't quite got that win, look at the teams they've played. They've got 3 draws against 3 teams that are, you would say are going to be up there come the end of the season, whether that's playoffs or automatics. And obviously, they lost to an informed Sunderland team. So disappointing, I'd say, the way they lost. But at the same time, they maybe thought they were going to lose that. Just given the form, like I say, taking on West Brom, who've done very well. Madger obviously on fire. They're looking really good. Looking like they can definitely be in that playoff conversation again. The way they're going, they might end up in the playoffs like last season. Obviously, it's still a while to go, but they are looking good. So, interesting one. I mean, Portsmouth, sort of like Luton and Hull in a way. It's like, well, we just need to try and get that win now, and kickstart the season. And they've done well. They've done well. I still think they'll stay up. Definitely, and they've been very unlucky in a lot of games, in my opinion. But they are taking on a good West Brom side, like I say. So interesting one. I mean, it's a tough one to call, and like I say, there's a lot of them this weekend. But I'm going to say a West Brom win, but I'm going to say a 3-1, but not a dominant 3-1. A one where it's 1-1 for large parts, and then they get 2 late goals. West Brom. See Magic getting another brace or something like that. He's on fire, isn't he? So yeah, I can see that. Which not too great for Portsmouth. Conceding 3 goals at home back to back, but I don't know, man. I just think it might be one of them, and then it'd be one of them where they'll play the team that's like round about the mid-table at home, and then they'll kickstart and get their win from there, and then progress, and the fixtures will get easier. Is basically what I'm trying to say. For them. So yeah, I'll say West Brom win. I think they've done really, really well so far this season. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Harry, can you see Portsmouth finally getting a win, or still
depends on you. Sorry,
or still West Brom capitalising?
I think it all depends on how West Brom turn up. To be fair, if they're on it, you'd think they might just win it. But Fratton Park, it's not an easy place to go to. I mean, I think they've got a draw against Leeds and a draw against Luton, who, let's be real, are 2 teams that are better than West Brom. So when you go off that basis, I feel like Portsmouth will win. But it all depends on, can West Brom create chances for Madger and get him scoring the goals like he has been this season. So in that, it is a tough one to call, but I think I will go for a Portsmouth 2-0 win.
2-0, geez, clean sheet.
Yeah.
That'll be a very, very good win for them. Lewis, can you see the West Brom form continuing, or can you see Portsmouth, like Harry says, getting their first win of the season?
I want to see Portsmouth win again. They deserve to win a game, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that.
But I just believe, you look at how West Brom started, and I think you just kind of have to back them because after everything they've been through, obviously losing a few players and finding it very hard to bring players in due to embargoes and things like that. You kind of want to see them do well, but I don't really like them. I just think I have a little bit too much for Portsmouth, so I'm just going to go with a 2-0 win to West Brom.
Fair enough. Two goal deficit win then. Same as me in that aspect. Fair enough. Both 2 strong teams, but has to be a draw 2-2. Yeah, again, it could be 1-1, couldn't it? It's so hard to predict. Been a great show, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed the crowd. Yeah, big up, man. I think it's the first ever time I've seen you on the channel, mate. So yeah, big up to yourself for tuning in. It's good to see that the championship show is getting out there. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we put it on all our channels, but good to see that it's still getting out there and people like you are seeing it there, man. So big up to yourself for tuning in. It's been good to have you in the comments predicting all the games with us. So yeah, big up to yourself, mate. But yeah, that is that. When it comes to that, obviously, we'll be back again at some point in a few days to obviously react to all the games, and then again, Lewis, your team is the Friday night again. So probably
Yeah.
be back again next Thursday to do that. But obviously, it'll be back again before that as well with all the reviews and stuff. But yeah, any final things, Harry, you want to say about anything before we end it?
Up the town.
Yep.
Lewis, enjoy your pull back and a lost to Barrow.
I will do, don't worry.
Very much welcome, mate. And shit on the Canaries. Hope they lose this weekend as usual or draw. At least they don't win. Keep that momentum going for a bottom 3 finish. And got one final thing to say. All it is can't start a fire. Can't start a fire without a fire. Victor Moses on fire. He'll play the Canaries off the park.
There you go. Well, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see by then. Lewis, any final things you'd like to say about anything, mate?
No, just obviously thanks for tuning in that, and obviously that's excited. We're back some point next week.
Yeah.
To do it all over again. And the race has been stopped, and it's going to crash.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm currently got the Doncaster game on in the background. If anyone's interested, they're actually losing.
Are they?
Yeah, losing. Quite a good goal, to be fair. I didn't realise their ground actually is like that. I thought it was a bit bigger. But
Who's
I remember playing
Doncaster or?
No, Harrogates. I remember playing them in the
It's that big stadium.
Yeah, I remember playing them in the FA Cup. Don't get me wrong, that was at Kenilworth Road, but still, they actually gave it quite a good go, to be fair. We did end up winning 4-0, but again, you didn't sort of expect that, but they gave it a right go. But that's when we didn't play for like a month, because there was like, I think it was like the COVID. I can't remember. There's a lot of games getting called off and that, I remember. But yeah, man, that's that. Good luck to all of your teams, says Gary. Yeah, big up, mate. Good luck to your team as well. Hopefully for my sake and the points that we do. They do get that result, like I said. I'm currently in the lead. Whether that will happen come the end of the weekend, we shall see. But yeah, as for me, final things to say. Well, yeah, like Lewis said, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Whether you've tuned in on any of our channels, big up. Obviously, do subscribe. If you are on my channel, go over to the description. And Harry's and Lewis' channels are in the description. So yeah, do subscribe there. Obviously, Hanno's is as well. So do subscribe there. He's literally one away from 700, like he said. And yeah, man, he'll be live. Well, in fact, he's live now. So come and tune into that. You can. As for content on my channel, I'll be back again with a hat show tomorrow. Me and my dad go a bit more in depth on the game against Millwall. And then Saturday, I'll be doing a watch long. And David will be doing fan cams outside of, well, I don't know what it is. I don't know, outside of ground's probably a bit risky, to be fair, at Millwall away, but he will be doing them. I'll get him to send me a video and I'll post it on all his socials of where he's going to do it. So if you are a Luton fan going to that game, then yeah, do one. If you're confident enough to do one, do that. It'd be great. And yeah, first away day fan cams. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, man. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials. Follow Harry and Lewis as well. And yeah, that's that really. When it comes to that, so big up to everyone. Big up to Spencer. He's been in the whole time. Big up to yourself, mate. And good night. Off for a pint. Yeah, why not? Why not? Do you know what I mean? Off to sleep I go to, mate. 5 hours sleep is not the one. But yeah, man. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. And until next time, we'll see you lot in a bit. Take care and peace up the top.
Get me Canaries.